Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and this is going to be my review for Overlord 4, episodes 5 and 6. I think from now on I'm going to put the 2 episodes together for one video, so that way it'll take less time for me to get it out. But these episodes, is where Ainz is working on getting the dwarves on his side. So he goes to the lizard men, who apparently have made, I'm assuming may have made dealings with the dwarves, or know where they are, or where they're supposed to be, or whatever. And when they go to visit there, Cocytus is already there, obviously, because, he's kind of working on running with the lizard men at some point, from season 2, I think. And the weird thing is that in that season as well, Ainz ended up punishing Shaltier by using her as a chair. Although I'm assuming he didn't want to. He had to do some kind of punishment. And Cocytus decided that he wanted to do the same. Even though Ainz told him specifically that it had been a punishment for her, he's like, no, I insist. It'd be rude not to. And I'm like, I feel so bad for Ainz being put in these weird situations. He humors him a little, I think. And then they plan when they're going to head off to meet with the dwarves. And if I remember correctly, one of the ones that goes with him is the one with the special weapon. And if I remember correctly as well, he had a family with, dang it, what was her name? It was the albino lizard. I can't remember her. Oh, Crush Lulu. That's what it was. I think they had a family, if I remember correctly. I could be completely wrong. But yeah, they head off, and after a while, they end up finding the entrance, but they don't sense any signs of life in the tunnels. So dang it, I think it was Aura. I think it's her name. I'm blanking on the names for a second. She went on ahead to scout the area, and she ends up finding one lone dwarf in there, and she kind of freaks the heck out of him. And she explains why she's there, and he explains that he's there. He's one of the people who does rune crafting for weapons, which is what Ainz is interested in, and they get an explanation as to what's going on. All the dwarves have left because a species called the Kuagwa has infiltrated the city and essentially ran them out. So the city itself is empty, but of dwarves, but it's full of Kuagwa, which are kind of, I guess, like wolf or dingoes or something like that. Okay, good, they got on the way. Okay. And they go and infiltrate the city and round up the Kuagwa. And think they end up beating some of them to a pulp before they run off, because the main strong one is not with them. They're attacking the other dwarves in their stronghold, and Ainz finds out where they gotta go and everything, and he meets up with them through the back door. And he lets the dwarves know that, yes, he's there to help them, but he also wants to cut a deal with them so they can be allies. He shows off his strength by sending out a couple of Death Knights after the Kuagwa, and they immediately start massacring all the Kuagwa. The only reason that the Death Knights even are destroyed is because they were on a very rickety bridge, and the leader Kuagwa, who's a different coloring, I think, he slashed through the bridge, and the bridge fell, and the Death Knights fell, and Ainz ends up sensing their demise, and he thinks that maybe there's a player out there, because his Death Knights are very strong, and it's very hard to find someone who could actually take them on besides anybody in his group. He doesn't obviously know that the Death Knights weren't destroyed by an actual enemy, they just fell to their death. Anyway, he ends up meeting with the rest of the dwarves and, telling them, hey, I want to be able to have access to weapons and armor that are crafted with runes and everything. And they essentially tell him that that's a dying art, and that only a handful of dwarves are still even practicing that kind of art form. And he gets all of them together and shows them a weapon he's got. It's got, I think, 13 different enchantments or something on it. And they get all excited and everything and want to check it out. And after some time, they end up convincing them that, yeah, this is a good idea and that we ought to work with him. And this whole time, Shoutier is busy taking notes of what Ein says, does, and everything, because she's trying to, I guess, learn from what happened before, I guess, when she got brainwashed? Maybe? But essentially, he's trying to help her to be able to grow and think critically and stuff. Anyway, I will get to work on episodes 7 and 8, and I will see you guys next time.